In the world of mixed martial arts, especially in the UFC, you'll find all sorts of champions. Some grab the spotlight, enjoy their moment of fame, and then fade away. Then there are champions who are in a league of their own. Their drive comes from a place deep within, something far beyond personal glory or fame. This is the story of a champion between champions, uncommon amongst uncommon. It's the story of Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov. Welcome to the Global Fights channel. Let's get started. In a world where many fighters build their careers on controversies and theatrics, Khabib Nurmagomedov took a different path.
Я вырос в спортивной семье, у меня отец тренер. И вот сколько я себя помню, я тренируюсь.
Born into a family with a rich martial arts heritage in the small Dagestani village of Sildi, Habib was destined for greatness. His father, Abdulmanap, a respected veteran and a martial arts champion himself, saw potential in Habib from an early age. At just 5 years old, Habib was already grappling and wrestling, laying the foundation for a future UFC champion. His upbringing was unconventional in many ways. You must have seen the videos of him wrestling with the bears somewhere in the Dagestani mountains. Habib remembers. I remember I asked my father back then, what if he bites me? And he said, you bite him too. You have teeth too. That's how my whole life was, in competition. You either become better or break down. Under his father's strict guidance, Habib excelled in various martial arts disciplines. By 17, he was a formidable competitor in combat sambo, showcasing skills that belied his age. His hero back then was legendary Russian martial artist Fedor Emelianenko, who was at his prime and pummeled his opponents left and right as Habib did further down the road. What's surprising is that Habib didn't really want to be a fighter. He wanted to work in security. His father had other thoughts. If you work somewhere, you're not an athlete anymore. It means you have another job. If you are an athlete, you must get up early, go to training, come home, eat, and sleep. I'll give you everything you need. You need money only for water and public transportation. We have food at home. Nurmagomedov made his MMA debut in 2008 at the Ukrainian promotion CSFU Champions League against Vuzal Bayramov. In what would become one of his signature moves, Habib submitted Bayramov in the first round via submission by triangle choke in the 3rd minute of the fight. He next entered the Pancration Cup and again showed his enormous potential. Habib won 3 fights via unanimous decision on the same night. And only a month after his MMA debut victory, Habib's tenacity was on full display that night and was only a glimpse of what would follow in the ensuing years for the Dagestani native. The domino has started. My style is not like anyone's. I am not a typical wrestler, Habib once remarked. After notching 16 wins without losses, naturally, the UFC came knocking. His journey in the UFC began in 2012, a culmination of years of hard work and unwavering discipline. Habib's rise in the UFC was meteoric, but not without its challenges. He faced giants like Michael Johnson and laquinta, displaying not just physical prowess, but a strategic mind that seemed always 2 steps ahead. But he would also stir the waters with out-of-character antics against opponents. Johnson.
Looking down upon MSG, Madison Square Garden.
On November 12, 2016 at UFC 205, Habib defeated Michael Johnson, who had won against Tony Ferguson a few years before. But Johnson had no chance against Habib's savage beating and tireless pressure. Johnson was on his back most of their fight, unable to respond to Nurmagomedov's grappling offense. Habib's trash talk was also a sight to behold. During their fight, he repeatedly told Johnson to quit and told him that he deserved to fight for the title.
I talk about, I tell him, hey, I have to fight for the title, you know this.
After tiring and punching Johnson, Nurmagomedov locked up a Kimura. forcing Johnson to tap at 2:31 of round 3. The post-fight interview ignited another rivalry. A rivalry brewing for a few years finally came to light. I want to stay humble, but I have to talk. Ireland has a population of 6 million people, while Russia has a population of 150 million. I want to go toe-to-toe with your chicken. Let's go, shall we? Laquinta. In a gripping showdown at UFC 223 held at Brooklyn's Barclays Center, Khabib Nurmagomedov faced off against Iaquinta in a fight that had fans on the edge of their seats. This was Khabib's long-awaited chance to vie for the UFC championship belt. Regrettably, his father couldn't be there due to visa complications, adding a layer of urgency to Khabib's step into the octagon. Despite this, Khabib was motivated, knowing his father would be closely following his every move from afar. The fight came to laquinta at the last minute, amidst the tumult, following a heated UFC 223 pre-conference incident involving Habib and Artem Lobov, a close associate of Conor McGregor, along with a notorious dolly incident involving Conor. Despite laquinta's gutsy performance, Habib was on another level, dominating round after round to clinch a unanimous victory. And then came the moment that got to us all. Habib, now the UFC lightweight champion, dedicating his victory to his father. It was a son's tribute to his mentor and hero.
I'm very sad about all my team here without my father. This everything because of my father. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, father.
McGregor. Then came the rivalry that would define a significant chapter of his career. Conor McGregor. The lead up to the pay-per-view event of UFC 229 was legendary. Conor was known for his trash talk, destroying his opponent's confidence before destroying their chins in the octagon. Such was the case with Eddie Alvarez, the first fight against Dustin Poirier, and one of his most legendary wins, the one against Jose Aldo. But he took his trash talk to another level with Habib.
Shut your mouth, man.
I came back for the love of this, to come and shut this man up. A little rat, a little weasel, a little hard man in groups. I don't like people who talk too much, Habib chirped back.
God have mercy on your soul. And trust me on that. You little pull-out merchant.
No, sit down.
Shut your mouth.
Habib has always said it's not about the money for him, but about legacy and pride. I fight for my legacy, for history, for my people, he's been quoted saying. And true to his word, every fight, including this one, has been a step toward building that legacy.
Failed to solve Khabib Nurmagomedov in a mixed martial arts setting.
The fight was an even showing from both fighters. Managed to steal a round from the Dagestani legend, an incredibly rare achievement from Habib's opponents. But when Habib decided to take the fight to the ground, it was clear who would dictate the tempo for the rest of the fight. The end for Conor came in the 4th round, when Habib caught the Irishman in a neck crank, forcing McGregor to tap. Khabib Nurmagomedov's record remained spotless at 27-0. But in a fight where Habib secured one of his most important career wins, he lost his temper. Habib, in a moment of heated emotion, climbed over the cage and lunged towards McGregor's corner, confronting Dylan Dennis, who had incited him with verbal jabs. Meanwhile, inside the octagon, Conor McGregor was fighting with 2 of Habib's team members, Zubaira Tukhugov and Niseti Miragov. Fortunately, the situation didn't lead to any severe incidents, as security quickly intervened to control the chaos.
One of Conor's guys was talking smack to Habib, and Habib just ran and dove over the octagon and went after him. While that was happening, 2 of Habib's guys jump over the octagon and go after Conor.
Habib's legacy. Habib's story is as much about his battles in the cage as it's about his life outside of it. The loss of his father in 2020 was a blow that would have crumbled lesser men. Yet, Habib fought on, channeling his grief into strength, dedicating his victories to his father's memory. His final fight against Justin Gaethje at UFC 254 was a tribute to his father, a man who had shaped him not just as a fighter, but as a champion of life. Khabib Nurmagomedov passed away months earlier due to a COVID-related illness, and that night, in his bout against Gaethje, many wondered if Habib would finally show weakness inside the octagon.
Fighter in UFC history. This is my dream.
But Habib was relentless, always pushing the pace, and also absorbed punches Gaethje threw that would put the lights out from any other fighter. Until the inevitable happened, Habib got Gaethje on the ground and got his legs around Justin's neck, catching him in a triangle choke. The moment Gaethje went limp, the arena fell into complete silence. They had just witnessed greatness. In the post-fight speech with tears in his eyes, Habib announced his retirement from the sport, a decision rooted in a promise made to his mother. "It was my last fight. I promised my mother it's going to be my last fight," Habib shared, revealing the depth of his family values and the respect he holds for his parents. He continued, "I give my word. I have to follow this. It was a very hard decision for me." But retirement for Habib wasn't an end, but a new beginning. He's now a mentor, a guide, a beacon for young fighters looking to make their mark. His legacy extends beyond the records he set. It's in the lives he touches, the careers he helps shape, and the inspiration he provides to millions. In pondering whether Habib is the GOAT, we might be asking the wrong question. Perhaps the true measure of his greatness lies not in the records or titles, but in the impact he continues to have. Habib left behind a potential fortune and untold fame, choosing instead a path defined by loyalty, family, and a promise to his mother. "When Allah is with you, nobody can beat you. Nobody," Habib once said, and his career was an example of his unshakable faith and determination. So there you have it. The story of Khabib Nurmagomedov, a man who rose from a small village in Dagestan to the top of the fighting world, only to walk away at the height of his powers, proving that sometimes the most significant victories are those we achieve within ourselves. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more fighter breakdowns, don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on new videos. Peace.